Brandon, what did you think was the biggest difference tonight in the game?
Still think we competed. Of course, I think they won the second and the fourth quarter. We're playing a group of guys where they know how to score the basketball, and they're spread out so wide where when their dribble penetration comes in the lane, they kick it out, and they have good three-point shooters, and they just execute it well on the offensive end.
For your individual game, third straight game, you just missed getting to 20 points. So is there anything that you're getting, or is your confidence growing a little bit more? Is there anything that's changed even over the last month as things keep getting better?
Just finding my spots, just having a clear head, just being aggressive and being able to get to the basket. I think my teammates put me in a good position where they give me good driver lanes. They hit me when I'm open, and I'm able to get the board and attack the rim.
What do you think is the next step that you want to add as you're pushing through the season individually?
Just being more of a leader. Just leading this team on the defensive and offensive end, and of course with dribble penetration, just trying to look for open guys as the defense collapse on me even more. So just trying to read the defense even more.
You know, these turnovers have been mounting lately, especially during the losing streak. What do you think that you guys can do to correct that, and how much of that is just part of how you play?
Just trying to keep harping on value in the basketball. I think sometimes when we turn the basketball over, it's always trying to make the right play. So it's not like it's careless turnover sometimes, but just trying to harp on it even more and just practice it so when we come into the game, we value it even more.
5-game losing streak, and knowing that you're heading into a tough road trip, what's the morale like in here right now?
It's just trying to get better every single day. I think we're still locked in. We're still staying together, and I think for these road games, I think it's important for us to stay even more together as we go through this journey and going through this process. So get back to practice and try to work on a couple things and get back at it.
Has the confidence with you guys as a unit wavered at all?
It's not, because I think in the games we lose, we're still in the game. We still have to find out a way to win those games, but every game that we lost in this 5-game stretch, we've been in the game.
Brandon, earlier in the season, there were times when you would have good starts, but it didn't necessarily carry throughout the game. But tonight, Luke said that he liked the way you were still able to contribute with assists and just pass the ball. What's been the evolution of your being able to impact games from not just good starts, but the ends too?
Just trying to stay locked in the whole 48 minutes. Just trying to get to the basket, look for my teammates, be aggressive to the rim, taking open shots when I'm open, and try to lock in on the defensive end. So just trying to tell all them things together. And, of course, like I said, my teammates put me in a good position where I can do all of that.
All right, because this is obviously a team that's kind of running like a well-oiled machine, those Rockets. What was the challenge in trying to slow them down tonight?
Trying to limit their threes, but we didn't do that. That's what they do. That's what their DNA is. So when you get them, going off from threes, they're tough to beat.
You guys play fast, so you're going to turn it over sometimes. That's kind of the byproduct of playing fast. But 2 nights in a row of 20-plus turnovers. What can you guys do to maybe pull that back?
I don't know. You asked the same question yesterday, and still the same answer. It's just reading the defenses and when to pick and choose, when to make timely passes. So
your teammates had trouble getting any scoring going. You actually had some success. How were you able to get going offensively?
Garbage time. They're already up 20. Nobody wants to play hard when you're up 20 anyway. So.
All right, you guys are on a little bit of a slide. How do you stop it? Is it as simple as taking care of the ball, or is there more to it than that?
I don't know. We just gotta come together and find ourselves right now. This is a very tough stretch playing multiple playoff teams and the top teams in the league in December. So, we got to figure it out.
That's the first time you've had a chance to try and stop James Harden and Chris Paul, which is one of the new two-headed monsters in the league. What was that like for you?
Ain't no stopping James Harden. No.
Is that the first time you've ever been on a court with him?
Yep, yeah.
What struck you about him and trying to guard him? I know everybody was trying, but what's the hardest part?
He takes like 30 dribbles and it's hard to guard somebody, when they have that many dribbles and, you're on an island. So.
All right, Philadelphia coming up. You had one look at him here about a month ago. What's the challenge on Thursday night?
Ben Simmons and Embiid really killed us. We got to be ready for him and, just try to, key in and, limit our turnovers and, just play ourselves. So.
Hey, Luke, did you feel like the players played like you wanted to play and Houston was better, or did you feel like there was something that you weren't doing to the level you wanted?
The turnovers again killed us. We talk about it every day in practice. We literally are doing drills that the players joke are like high school drills, but that's what it's come to. Like, we got to start taking care of the basketball. We gave up 28 last night, 27 points tonight. But overall, yes, they played. Our guys played how we wanted to. They were competing. I thought the first quarter and the third quarter we played well enough. In my opinion, Houston's playing the best basketball in the NBA right now, and they're like a well-oiled machine, and it just keeps going. And as soon as we have breakdowns, or as soon as we go dry offensively, that lead just builds back up with the way that they can shoot the ball, the way they can get to the free throw line, and that's a good team. I thought our starters did a very good job tonight, and our second unit, who's been really good for us all year, struggled with their second unit out there. But we, our guys competed. We cut it to 3 in the second half. At one point, we didn't have enough.
Luke, what do you think the biggest issue was in the second quarter for you guys?
Well, their second unit, I think, actually plays very similar to ours, where they just start switching everything, and they took us completely out. We didn't take advantage of it, and part of that is we still need to we got to get better at understanding how to do it. We worked on it the other day where you either, there's options when teams are switching like that. You screen your own man when you recognize that you slip the screen, or you get the switch and you look for the mismatch. And I think when they started doing that to us, we got stagnant, and then it was just JC and Julius taking turns a little bit, and we didn't get into that flow, and they just kept scoring on their end. I think that kind of deflated us a little bit.
Hey, Luke, how are Lonzo's Cavs doing? And normally he's able to impact the game whether or not he's scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Did you still see?
Yeah, he didn't. I don't know. I didn't ask him afterwards how they were feeling. He didn't seem to have that same bounce, that same push that he's been giving us. The game was closer. I would have given him another chance down the stretch there, but where it was, and with the calf stuff he's had going on, it just felt right to keep him out. But yeah, a lot of what we do and how we go is dependent, which is a lot of pressure to put on a young rookie to play that position. But a lot of what we do is how he gets engaged on those defensive rebounds, how he's pushing the ball up the floor, how he's collapsing a defense or flattening out a defense. And tonight I didn't feel like we got as much of that out of him.
Did KCP roll an ankle, or I didn't see what the injury was?
I didn't see either. I'll get the full medical update from Marco after this.
5th straight loss, Luke. Just kind of what's the morale like in there right now, especially going into a big road trip?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a challenge. I think everyone that's with us knew that this was going to be a testing time of the season. Tonight, we cut it to 3, but they obviously had that. The last 5, I felt like we had good chances of winning each of those games.
Why do you think you guys as a group are turning it over as much as you are?
Man, if we knew the answer to that, we wouldn't be doing it.
Well, I know you want to play fast, and when you play fast, you're going to turn it over sometimes. But how do you meet that in the middle?
Man, you know what? I wish I knew. I really do. We're trying to do the right things, get the ball ahead, get the ball to the next guy. It's not like we're turning it over, just dumb things. We're trying to make the right play, and it's just not quite working right now. So I like where our head's at. We just gotta tighten up the screws on that.
Warriors were here last week. They're similar in record to the Rockets. That game very competitive and close against the Warriors. Tonight, these guys look like they had an easier time. Why do you think?
Free throw line. I didn't see how many times it was, but James got to the free throw line like he does every night, and that's kind of something we've been actually pretty good at. And tonight we had a lot lapse and let him score probably most of his points there.
You guys switch everything these days, and that's something that's part of your defense. But when you have to guard Harden or Chris Paul, what's the challenge in kind of stopping that two-headed monster?
When they get that rhythm dribble step back three, they shoot. Their percentage goes way up, so that's the last thing we want. So obviously you want to force, without giving up threes, you want to force them inside the paint. But once they get there, you stick your hand in once and they got you for a foul, and that's a lot of what happened tonight.
Are you guys in a little bit of a slide? How do you stop it?
I think you said it. Turnovers. We got to figure that out. I think we got a day or two of practice before the next game. Turnovers, and we got to ratchet the defense back up.